Okay, all right, that's excellent. Okay, so let me look this over. Page 106 and 4, and page 12 on. Okay, solo scenarios are done. Experience rolls for everyone that has them.
All right.
So anybody that has a check. I need to update my history notes. That I'm not, because the viewers can see this. I'm not even going to write down what happened to Robert, but I know what happened to Robert. Robert goes bat shit crazy, covers himself in pig feces, and runs naked into the forest in the chill of winter. Returns with the blood of Jesus on a spear. Well, unfortunately, Sir Robert, it looks like the only thing you're raising is your fairy lore. Look, you're twice as good with fairy lore as you were before. Amazing. So good. Let me know when you guys are finished with your.
Yeah, I finished mine.
Okay.
Get all that money.
What was that noise? It sounded like Kirby or something. All right. Experience rolls. Robert, are you done? Minash? I think you're muted.
I muted. Yeah, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done.
Okay. Everyone, age your character 1 year, and your squires as well. Has anyone's squire reached 21?
No, mine's gone to 18.
Okay.
Oh, and I better age Clarissa as well. I always forget to do
Yes. No one's reached 35 yet, so you're all good there.
Let's see. What age would the wife be?
That's a good question. Your wife is probably 20.
Okay.
Economic circumstances. I will now roll for the weather in Breton. The first roll is the skill, and the second is the actual roll. So the weather
Oh
succeeds.
shit!
Rough
Damn it,
life,
weather.
bro.
Well, we'll be
Alright.
okay if I make my stewardship.
Yeah, go ahead, Sir Robert. You're up first, I guess.
Okay, Clarissa, where are you? Come on. While I was aware, I hope she did a good job.
If she
So-
didn't, I guess you can just blame her for everything.
What would be
Oh,
the
shit.
stewardship on the wife?
Stewardship starting on a wife is 12.
All right. Well, it sounds like I'm going to be rolling it then.
Okay, Clarissa is gonna have. Hang on, here we go.
Critical.
Come on. Stuff for the fail. Thank God.
Okay, success and success. You live as a normal knight. You gain 6 pounds. You spend that to maintain yourself at a normal level. Sir Aurelius, would you like to go next? Success and success, same deal. 6 and 6 spent. And of course, anytime you spend money, you gain glory equal to the number of towns. Sasha, would you like to roll?
You want me to?
Taking over your dear nephew. Was it you were the uncle to Rook and
Yep.
taking over your nephew's estate?
God damn it, Dubbin.
I can't believe you died. It made me ultra rich. It's tough
Didn't
life
want
being
this.
nobility.
Yeah.
All right. No, that's not right. I give myself a little bit too much stewardship. Okay.
There's no such thing as too much. Okay, success and success. So, you also gain 6 pounds. You spend 6 pounds and you gain 6 glory. On to part 5. All of you have your manners, so none of that.
Ooh, and I just broke 2,000.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, so
Okay,
did Robert.
family roles. Would anyone like to get married?
Sweet.
Just
Robert
it.
would.
I suppose I must.
Robert, you're already married. You son of a bitch.
She's a big one. Oh well, Aurelius now has 4 kept women. I don't know. Robert might be hanging out there, but
We'll see if he actually uses those kept women or not. We'll see.
Whatever happened to
Hold on.
young Ella?
Lady
The
Ella.
poor girl.
Remind me about Lady Ella.
Lady Ella, the big fellow's bride.
Ella married Rook, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I guess she's available, but she has to be married off again by Earl Roderick. You would have to request her hand. You have to be widowed twice before you can do whatever you want.
I'll go see. I'll try and be married by Malgalasta.
Okay, all right. Well, no, you're going right now because you're the only one who
Right.
has to get married. So
Of the people that are here.
you'll need to make a courtesy roll to Earl Roderick.
Look, Roderick.
So, like,
I'm not-
instance before Robert comes in naked, you're like, oh, Roderick.
Look, Roderick. We know I'm not very suited to this task, but now that it's up to me for my family, I need a bride to continue the line. Now that it's my line, if you would oblige, that'd be nice.
So Roderick looks down at you and says, who the bloody hell are you, and why do you sound like a Pict?
I tend to not come around unless I'm really needed.
This is, oh,
My name's Sasha.
You're the inheritor. What manor did you have?
While
Yeah.
Wow.
He says, oh, you're the inheritor of Wild Manor, of course. Could I offer you the hand of Lady Ella, perhaps? Her husband recently passed away. What was his name again?
that big fellow. God. I think I was a rook.
Oh, yes, Rook, of course, of course.
Big guy I like to eat a lot. That's all, really.
So, I think she already gained like 1,000 glory, right, from marrying Rook.
yeah.
So she
Uh,
now
Give it
gains
again.
another 1,000 glory, and you gain 1,000 glory as well.
What?
Oh shit.
He gives you a dowry of 3 pounds because, unfortunately, you know, times are tough.
Yeah.
Almost everybody died during the naval raids.
Oh,
Plus,
don't mention it. I don't need much.
your nephew did not leave her very much money when he died a horrible death. So,
Dude, that's nice, man. Like these you got a shitload of honor just from marrying Ella.
It's like,
Glory,
marries
sorry,
his
yeah.
same wife. Yeah.
I imagine I treat Ella a little bit less like warmly than Rook did, but at the same time, gentler. I
Okay.
imagine Rook was like, "Give me more food," whereas I'm like, "Thanks for the food." Yeah, there's a difference.
Are you emo or something? You're like, ugh.
No, it's just I didn't really want this. This isn't my life. But
Damn
I
it.
suppose if I must, damn it.
Okay, Aurelius, are you upkeeping the 4 kept women?
Am I paying for the
Yes,
upkeep?
are you paying for them?
Yes.
Are you attempting to
live as
have
a rich man.
relationships? And I mean that in a carnal way with any of them.
No.
Okay, you only roll once on the children roll if you'd like to. Again,
Alright.
all of you are married, so you may roll 1d20 for children, unless any of you would also like to pick up any kept women looking at Robert.
No, Robert's not had time this year.
Okay. No, no, and Robert, no. No children. We now check for child survival. Who has children here? I believe Robert and Aurelius do.
Yeah.
All right. Roll a d20 for each child and advance them 1 year until they're 15. 17, the child lives.
An 8.
An 8, the child is ill but lives.
Okay. So
Right.
you're 1-year-old this year.
Family events.
Let's see.
Everyone roll a d20.
So I guess I just
Brilliant.
broke the 2,000 barrier technically.
Yeah, yeah, you
Yeah.
did.
It's
All right, Sir Robert, you had a death in the family. Roll a d20, figure out who it was. Sasha, you had a marriage in the family, and Aurelius, you had a birth in the family. Sir Robert, your cousin died. Which cousin was it?
No idea. Some unknown cousin. Probably fighting Saxons.
Okay, yeah, sure, he might have died in the naval raids.
Yeah.
Aurelius, 7 is your brother. Do you have any brothers?
Yes, Cyprian, my current heir, is my brother.
Well, it turns out he just had a kid.
All right.
So make sure on your family tree to start upkeeping that kid every year after this one. Because he might be your future double heir. Who knows? And Sasha, I think we're missing the second roll from you.
yeah.
So you're a 7. It was there was a marriage of your grandfather. Nope, he's dead. Roll again.
Yes, he is.
19, your cousin. Tell me about your cousin. He got married.
I think my cousin's dead.
What about your cousin Nico?
Nico, fucking Nico. Always wants to go gaming with me.
Hey, why don't we go bowling?
Always wants to go. He always wants to go gaming, go hunting. I mean, I like the hunting part, but he's just so insistent about it.
Yeah, so yeah, you're the uncle, right? And then he's like
Yeah.
another cousin, so he's also of an age, probably.
All right, I think he's
Wow,
probably
that-
a younger cousin.
That feels
Younger
really
cousin.
ageist to say that, but how would I say that more correctly? He was probably an older knight. Okay, so training and practice. All of your wives all gain a D3 of skill points to distribute among any of their skills. All of you can choose one of the following 3. 1d6 plus 1 in any skills that are knightly to a maximum of 15. 1 skill point in any skill to a maximum of 20. Or improve an attribute, trait, or passion by 1 point.
I'm gonna skip this part because I leveled up to 30, thinking that this is gonna be like
Okay.
aged up to 30.
Your wife will still gain the D3.
Okay.
Robert's gonna train sword. 'Cause
Did
he's been
we-
fighting Saxons?
Did we put in the glory from traits and passions?
You do that next.
Okay. So let's see. We add in.
What would the crafting of food be for a skill? Hospitality. That's a
Industry.
trait. Industry. Okay, her industry is gonna go up. She's a good cook.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put. Aurelius is gonna put it into sword.
Okay. For step 8, computing glory, you guys will get any stat, so any trait or passion that is above 16. You will gain that much glory, up to 100. All of you should have already...
Not stats, right? Just traits and
Not
passions, right?
skills. Not skills.
Stats as well?
Yeah, your stats.
Oh,
No.
I've never been adding
Not
I
that.
stats,
haven't-
not stats.
Okay.
Or- You're talking about, like, strength and stuff.
Size.
Yeah,
Yeah.
attributes.
No. It's...
Oh, okay, not that. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's not
Yeah,
that.
so passions
Alright.
and personality traits.
Attributes and traits.
All right.
Well, passions and traits. I mean.
After all of this, we need to take an accounting of anyone who gained more than who reached the 1,000 barrier. So did anyone reach their 1,000 barrier?
So
Yeah.
Aurelius reached it. I think all of us did.
You mean 2,000?
Well,
Yeah.
every 1,000. So every
Oh,
time you pass
yes.
1,000. So Robert, did you also pass the 1,000 barrier?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You all can gain 1 point in any attribute, trait, passion, skill, or combat skill. There are no rules on this.
Size going up.
Well, Robert spent a lot of time captives eating some weird food with the Saxons and stuff. He has no idea what the hell they do. And he's like, and he went into the wild, into the Fae. He has no idea what's happened, but He's,
No,
he's like
whoa. Why do you think you went into the wild and the Fae? Huh?
he's gained some knowledge, man. He knows a few things like that you didn't know
Yeah, he
earlier.
knows
Like,
some
yeah.
things, but you don't know how he knows those things.
Yeah, he doesn't know how he knows these things. So he's like, some weird stuff has been happening to him. And he seems a little bit larger now. Like he's
Oh,
gone up
okay.
one size
So
in size.
you're talking it through, and you're saying I got
Yeah,
a point in
size.
size and a point in fairy lore.
You know,
Yeah.
Robert,
Well,
we don't meet very many people as big as us. It's nice to meet a man
Yeah.
like you.
yeah. No, Aurelius is keeping things simple. He's just putting another point in sword, so he's at 20 skill in sword.
I can see like Sir Robert being Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, and like every single one of Kurama's characters is the midget that follows him around, and he's like, I eat roughly 5 dozen eggs, so I'm roughly the size of a barge. That's how he increases. That's how Robert increases his size every day. 5 dozen raw eggs.
Yeah.
He learned it from the Saxons. It's a secret family recipe. I think that rounds out the year 487. Let me check here for year 488. There was a question where you guys were wintering over in Sarum.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so Earl
or-
Roderick
yeah.
distributes to you your new year of noble clothing, and takes your old clothing to be cut into rags or whatever, or given to squires or something. He congratulates you all on surviving, those of you that did. You learn that Sermon's heir is going to be spending the year in mourning. And all Earl Roderick wants to talk about is politics, about how the loss of so many knights would normally have hurt his standings in the royal court. But since his knights, specifically including Robert and Aurelius, but not limited to just them, had such high-profile battles, all of Logres and all of Uther's retinue speak of the ferocity and the ferociousness of Salisbury Knights. They speak of the toughness of Salisbury steak.
It's funny. Because,
Right.
you know, I heard the stories.
We begin in the year 488. Court is held in Winchester Castle. The special guests this day are Prince Madoc, Praetor Seragius, and the British Army. Outside, we find 3 familiar-looking women on a bench beneath a tower. Very familiar-looking bench and a familiar-looking tower. And the first one says, I must say it worries me. Attacking the Franks. Don't you think it foolish, I say, and terribly dangerous? King Claudius has never yet lost a battle. What if the Franks start invading us too, like the bloody Saxons? Wonderful, I say, and help Praetor Seragius. And by God, the cause is so just. Good for him. The king is attacking the Franks. Well, I'll say, we'll see some plunder next year. I hope my husband brings me some of that French ribbon. That's what it looks like, but the king can be attacking Cornwall. The Duke has insulted him by ignoring summons too often. There can't be that many Irish raiding his coast. And then the old one looks up from her knitting and says, Listen, darlings. The king is just training the new knights with this attack because there is a new Saxon army pillaging up north. He'll need those veterans next year. And it's a very cozy feast. You know, it's a royal feast, so lots of large animal meats and even fresh fruits from the continent, specifically from Rome, that got past the Saxon blockade this year. And by the simple fact that the Saxon ships were destroyed, there was a clear line. Prince Madoc is holding court on one side of the hall. Duke Brastius is holding court on the other. And the king is on his throne wearing the crown, having royal conversation. This is you know, this is Winchester Castle. The servants here are not like lower class peasants. All the servants here are handmaiden women. And they are talking, and there is quite a bit of intrigue to talk about. Also, before the day ends, Earl Roderick has asked that you join him in a council. It will not begin until you arrive. Like most good RPG tutorials, you know, you'll get a pop-up warning that you have to finish everything that you want to do first before you start the council.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Suppose I'll ask around.
Who would like to
Robert's
go
gonna-
where?
I think Robert's gonna go chat with some.
Oh,
Women
Sasha,
over here.
very good. Okay, so Sasha, you spend some time speaking to the noble women. Tell me how this goes down.
I hear a lot of you have been talking about a lot of stuff recently. I'm a little bit interested, I suppose, in hearing what you have just talked about. If you don't mind obliging me that.
So you're just very forward approaching these
I
women
am-
then.
He's
And
very forward.
one of them, you know, she just starts putting down drink and food in front of you, and your wife's not with you, and she's just like, oh my. Well, Uther is uncertain about his vassals, especially that foul fiend Duke Gorlo. Furthermore, there may be an attack by the Saxons or even some Britons upon this land while half the army is away. The primary culprit in this would be Duke Gorlo of Cornwall. There's also a Saxon army pillaging up north, and even King Lot avoided the battle there.
Oh, sounds terrible. I really hope it doesn't come down here. Sounds like it will, though.
So she smiles at you and then picks up her tray and leaves and continues serving.
Thank you.
Let's see. Given the sad deaths of so many of our companions in the last year, I'm going to give a long orated toast to some of the
Oh, interesting. Okay.
assembled brethren,
All right.
lamenting the sad loss of.
You get up, stand up,
servants.
stand up for your rights.
All right, let's give this a shot. All right.
Okay, all right. You will gain a check and orate. So you give a toast, and Prince Maddock raises his glass to the toast, and simultaneously everyone else but the king stands up and also raises a glass, like a wave. So like it starts with Maddock, who is nearby where you're orating, and it's just like a wave. People don't even know what you're toasting to on the far side of the room, but they all raise a glass towards you. And Maddox says, to those who died protecting the land from the Saxon scourge. Everyone cheers and drinks the toast.
Yeah, yeah.
You will gain 10 glory, Sir Aurelius.
Excellent.
Anyone that would like to do anything else?
Yeah, Robert will want to go and he may try and talk to Prince Maddock, and he'll try and also just try to, you know, he's always around. If there are women around, Robert's gonna just chit chat with them. Not like necessarily do anything, but just
Okay.
you know, enjoy
So
their company.
you approach Prince Maddock, and he kind of looks you over and gives you a very foul look and says, Sir Robert, is it true what I heard, that when battle came, you hid beneath your ship while your crewmates died?
My Lord Prince, I'm ashamed to admit it, but yes, on that first raid when we were so outnumbered, we did fear for our lives, and we were ashamed for it. On the next occasion, when we found ourselves outnumbered once again, we refused to let our honor be besmirched once again, and we rode out. Alas, we fought till the last.
So I have
Two of my
heard
companions
you
were-
acquitted yourself well, sir. Just
Yes.
remember in the future that those who hide beneath ships die beneath ships. It is well that you led such a vicious counterattack. I heard at one point you faced 6 Saxons by yourself.
Aye, my lord. Aye, my prince. But alas, there was no victory to be had there. But I have managed to survive, and I
Is it
shall exact
true?
my vengeance.
He cuts you off. Is it true what they say that the event of being taken by the Saxons and having to eat their food so traumatized you that you decided to rub yourself with pig feces and run about Britain?
My lord, I do not know what happened after. I was in a duel against my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, and then
He says,
I know
"Ah,
not
yes.
what happened after that.
Of course, a duel with the wife's brother-in-law. I know it well."
I know not what happened after that. I returned naked in winter. It was a most traumatic experience. This has been a most unusual year.
He says, "Well, it will be another unusual and glorious year. The king has ordered the army to muster. Once half of all knights and half of all foot troops are assembled, they will take to the ports of Hanton and Chichester with provisions for a 40-day campaign. They will accompany me to Frankland. King Uther, with pressing business of the realm here, will keep order with the other half of the army of Britain. Perhaps you will join me, Sir Robert, or perhaps you should stay here and recover from last year's travels."
My lord, I long only for battle to redeem myself. It would be my honor to once again accompany you, and I hope to acquit myself better this year.
Says, "Of course, there will be much pillaging in Frankland. We will give them the old British what for."
And he's like, Robert like just cheers, like say,
Okay?
"Press Maddock," you know, or something like that.
Right. Maddox
And he
dismisses
steps
you.
up, bows, and he steps away.
Is there anything anyone else would like to do?
Participate in the feast.
Okay.
Food's here. I'm not gonna not eat it. That'd be rude.
I assumed your participation in the feast was intringent upon, or I don't know what the word would be, but your intrigue. You know, you were getting food and drink the whole time. So, anyone to do before the council begins?
Yeah.
Can you read out the list of significant attendees again?
Yes. Duke Brastius is still available to speak with, as is King Uther, who is wearing the crown.
Robert will go up to Aurelius.
You could also
you think we should-
probably seek out any knights that you may know of.
Would you like to introduce ourselves to Duke Brastius? Perhaps learn of what.
Certainly. And I will also keep an eye out for those. If you'll recall from when my character went mad after the battle, he was introduced to a knight who had converted. I would like to
I believe
see if he's still around.
You learned that you had beaten 7 knights senseless in a row. And they all converted during the process.
Yes, I would like to, if I spot them around, sort of issue words of encouragement in their continuing faith, etc.
Okay. All right, you easily find them and issue such words. And sorry, didn't want to cough in everybody's face and kill you all with my internet germs. Yeah, they're all still very fervent zealots. Now, let's see here. Although, Aurelius, you are approached by a knight, and you make either a heraldry or a recognize.
I can make it. I probably can't succeed, but we'll see.
Is Robert hanging out with him?
You did
If
say
you'd
you
like
were.
to be, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Robert will try and recognize him. Oh, no. Neither of us know who he is.
So he walks up, and he looks like he's about to punch Aurelius in the face. And he is steaming mad, and he says, "Sir Aurelius, I have heard that you are the slatternous, sluttous whore, son of a Saxon. I challenge you to a duel in the name of my sister."
I have no idea what you are speaking of. However, I will accept your challenge if I have for this insult to my honor.
He says, "Of course you don't know who I am. You killed my sister."
Oh, you what?
What?
What did you
I
say?
slay no woman.
Says, "Oh no, you claim to be a good Christian man, and yet you lay